Welcome everyone to the next edition of the Stay in Course podcast. Today I have James R. Elliot, who's a business coach for natural health practitioners and coaches, and he helps them make more money while breaking free from the time for money work trap, from self-doubt or burnout to a thriving business. And today we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about working less, playing more, and living life by design. Welcome, James, to the Stay on Course podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here, Julie.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, before we get started, I ask all of my guests one question. What
Cool.
is your favorite food?
And I'm a foodie too. It's a hard one. I probably would say coconut Thai curry, though. It's a fairly easy choice there. Delish. And now I'm getting hungry.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So tell us a little bit about just a little snapshot of the work that you do, and then we'll get right into this incredible topic for today.
For sure. Yeah. And so I'm someone who, I realized both in the corporate world and then when I started my business, the whole work your life away, permeated from the corporate world, 14 and a half years of the corporate world into my personal business. And so that had to shift, and just through trial and error and investing in courses and mentors and all kinds of stuff, realizing that I was able to build a life by design where I can, for weeks on end or a month, work from Philippines or Colombia or Italy or somewhere really, really cool, while still doing work, while still running my business, while having my team, which doesn't have to cost a fortune, by the way, doing their doing and getting a lot done when I'm working or playing. So it was a natural evolution of doing that. And then people started asking me, well, how do you do this? Or how did you do this? Can you teach me? Can you show me? And then it evolved naturally into coaching people. This is how you do it. You set up a successful business, but also here's how to play a lot more than typically most people are able to do in their lives.
Wow. I love that. I
Thank you.
love that. And so let's get into these ingredients for success:
Right on.
working less, playing more, living life by design. And I think the corporate space is a great place to get a foundation of
Mm.
like how to do stuff, because I think there's definitely that going on. But what I think is very interesting is we get caught in that, hey, I have to climb the corporate ladder.
Fair, fair. And I have to do it this way, or in before the boss, out after the boss type thing.
Yep.
Versus, why don't you just be a superstar, get amazing things done? And my boss was like, are you doing anything? I'm like, no, all my work's done. She's like, go home. Go home. You're a superstar. She's like, you hit the numbers, you do your stuff, go home. You found ways to be highly productive, and I get it, and I see it. You don't have to come in before me. You don't have to. And so I started showing up after her and after other people. I started leaving before her, before other people, and she was fine with it because I was rocking it and rolling it. And people, I think nowadays, especially, some of that mindset has gone. Oh, I'll be in before the boss. I'm working long hours to impress the boss or impress everyone. And, he or she who sleeps the less, wins, and people bragging about how little they sleep. How about bragging about how much free time we have? How will we shift to that and not bragging about, oh my God, yeah, I worked 16 hours yesterday, or I only slept 4 hours last night. Why do we brag about that? It doesn't make sense. We're here to live, not to work. Yes, find something you love and do it really, really well. But I don't think we're here to work our lives away. That's for sure.
Oh, it's interesting. So where are we going to start this ingredient for success conversation?
Right on, right on. Good question. Well, I think let's look at the mindset first, because I think it starts from all the programming, the subconscious programming from parents, culture, society, religion, work, teachers. What am I missing? What am I missing there? This programming of work, and work hard and keep your head down, and don't rock the boat. I mean, my mom doesn't sound like that, so I'm not sure why I'm making that voice, but all these things people say, work hard and save your money and work, and all this programming we have to do, and often we're taught by different companies too, a different culture of what will make you successful. If you're always working there, you're in before the boss, out after the boss. That means this, that means that. It doesn't mean anything, especially if you're burnt out and not productive. You're in before the boss and out after the boss. If you're burnt out, unproductive, unfulfilled, unhappy, it's useless. Plus, it's going to kill your productivity anyways to be unproductive. And that's one reason why I was able to be so productive, because I typically worked I worked, well, I was there in the office an hour or hour and a half less than other people, which gave me more time to rest and play. However, I worked more than a lot of people, meaning I was more productive when I was actually there. When I was actually there doing the doing, I was a lot more productive. That was part of it too. Not,
Yeah. So
typically I think
what is that secret though? Like, how did you become more productive? What's that
great
about?
question. It was deliberately shrinking my work hours, thinking, well, instead I have all day to do things, so you're kind of puttering and distracted, and email and phone and whatever. It's like, okay, I only work till 3:30, so I only have this amount of time to
Yeah.
do stuff. I'm gonna get stuff done, which meant, yes, less water cooler talk. I took breaks. I think breaks are important, but maybe shorter breaks, shorter, more power breaks. Sometimes I'd eat at my desk, which there's a fine line, by the way, with that. But to, get away, and I'd walk. I'd go for a half an hour walk, and then I'd work and eat for half an hour at my desk, multitasking, getting stuff done while I'm eating, taking a shorter break, if you will, so I can get out earlier too. Um, Less distractions, alerts off, all email, text, phone, all alerts off, Slack alerts off, and have scheduled times to check them, or ways for people to reach me if it was urgent.
Right.
Truly urgent, not someone else's thing is on fire, and for some reason now it's my priority and problem. But it's like, um, it was interesting just making sure I had really powerful boundaries, not just with myself too, others and myself, as well, which really helped those boundaries, and thinking, okay, Parkinson's law, for example, dictates that
Yes.
the work we have will expand to fill the time. So shorter meetings. Can this meeting be an email? Could this meeting be a quick WhatsApp voice note or conversation?
Yeah.
Right. How to make things shorter, and maybe having deliberately really tight, short timelines for meetings or whatever, or projects, that way it's like, okay, I gotta get this. Let's go. No time for, well, just scroll a bit right now and then I'll get to work. Or no, there's no time for that. And that way you get out of work earlier, whether it's a corporate job or entrepreneur job. You get out of work earlier and you can start later, which allows more time for self-care, for play, for reflection, for meditation, which makes you even more productive when you are working.
Mm.
So it's a positive cycle that we get into, because more burnout means, you probably seen the curves, the graphs, like your productivity just nosedives. The more you work, the more you are burnt out. Productivity just in the toilet. On average, people statistically get about 3 hours worth of actual productivity work. They're productive 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, working far more hours.
It's interesting because a lot of the times we're spending meeting people, talking about things, but the doing part is the part. And I love the thing that you said about shutting off the alerts. Ding, ding, ding. So if you're
Ding ding.
listening, shut those
Got it.
alerts off, everyone. Shut those alerts off. Because
And I think
how those are so distracting.
exactly. And giving ourselves permission to shut it off, or that the world is not going to burn down if you shut them off, or whatever excuse you're making in your head. Oh, I
Yeah.
have to keep them on because of whatever. You
Terrible.
know, I had a client that couldn't sleep at night. I'm like, and so she said, oh, I have so much trouble sleeping at night. And we eventually found out she has her phone on at night, all night.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Well, in case it's emergency. I'm like, the emergency is that you're not sleeping, you're killing yourself, you're burning out, you're sick, because
Yeah.
that is the emergency. But it's, I guess, giving yourself permission to disconnect, whether
Permission
it's
to
during the day, whether
disconnect.
it's a night, or both. Like you said, shutting the alerts off. If something's that important, someone will find a way to reach you if it's
Yeah.
that important.
Exactly. So we talked about before we got on, we talked a little bit about delegation, automation, and elimination.
Mm-hmm.
I I think the one that I want to talk about most is like elimination. Let's talk about
Let's
elimination.
talk about that. I love
Because
that. I love
I
that.
we know what delegation is, automation, like I get all that. But I want to get to the heart of this. Like what do we need to eliminate from our lives and our businesses that is going to make us more productive, get the sales that we need, get the relationships that we need going. Let's talk about that.
It's well, and there's a quote. I'm gonna bastardize it, but there is something about, there's no greater waste of time or energy or money than optimizing and automating and tweaking and perfecting something that shouldn't be done at all. Actually, I think I did pretty well, but it's around that. And a lot of times we are, and I'll start with the reason why we do that, then we'll get into how to change it. The reason we do that often is we're on this treadmill of doing, you got to do, work, fire, fight, fire. And we don't give ourselves time, corporate or entrepreneur, or even government employees for that matter, to take time to even 5-10 minutes a day to reflect. I suggest 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. But anyways, even 5 to 10 minutes to reflect. What am I doing that's working? What's working well? What worked really well yesterday? What worked really well last week? What didn't work well yesterday? What didn't work well last week? What didn't work well earlier today? And even a little bit of time to look at that and think of, well, what do I need to stop doing? If it didn't work well today or last week or the week before, does that need to stop? Or does it need to get done by someone who is an expert in that, especially if you don't like doing it? We'll talk about the intersection of productivity later. But does it need to be done by someone else or not at all? Should it not even be? Are you just doing for doing for doing? Right. And it was interesting when we were when I was working for IBM and we were sold off to Lenovo, the new laptop company. IBM was doing a lot of things and duplicates or triplicates just because that was the way it was always done. We always had, 2 audits, not one audit department. We had 2 audit departments auditing everything double. And Lenovo looked at this and said, why are we doing that? Well, that's the way it was always done. But why? Why are we having 2 audits of things done when one, doing it the right way, one is enough? So again, that's just one of many examples of why are we doing this? And really looking at things, and is that effective? Should we be doing that at all, or does that need to stop completely?
Exactly.
Because sometimes we're just doing things because that's what we were told, or that's what we were programmed, or it's the right thing to do, or we should do this, or everyone else does that. And well, should it be done? Should you be doing it? Should it be done at all? It's a big thing. Maybe it doesn't need to be done. Maybe
it doesn't need to be done.
Yeah. And reflecting at that daily, at what could I cut out? What could I stop?
Yeah.
What could I remove? Or at least what can I optimize, automate or delegate? If it still needs to be done, it shouldn't be done by you, especially if you don't, and this is getting into the intersection trio. If you don't love it, if you don't have to do it, if it doesn't have to be done by you, and it doesn't light you up or move the needle and make you more money, then don't do it. Delegate it, outsource it, automate it. Provided it should be done at all. And that's the point here. Maybe certain things shouldn't be done at all. They should just be stopped.
I wonder also, like, when you talk about productivity and elimination, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in our head.
Yes.
That we might need to eliminate, because that stops us also from being very productive. It's like the head space that we give to things that we shouldn't be giving. And I'll give you an example. Yeah. So one of the things that I'm giving head space to is things that I'm procrastinating.
Right on.
So I'm procrastinating this thing and I'm thinking about it every single day because I'm procrastinating it every single day.
How much time?
It's ridiculous. It's like, I should have done this a month ago. A month ago, I should have done this. It's not something I can delegate. It's not something I can give away. It's like, it's a very important thing I need to do. And I'm not ignoring it, but I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm ignoring it. But now I've given it headspace and time space, and it's like I just should do it.
And often, you're right, the time we waste analyzing, overthinking it, procrastinating, delegating is far more than the time just to do it. You ever done something, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe how fast that actually was when I sat down to do it. And that's usually the case. Right. Yeah, and even if it's not, even if it takes longer than you think, the time to stew on it and procrastinate and overthink and overwhelm and, oh my God, should I do it? It takes far longer than just to do the task. Even if the task is an epic failure, you're going to learn anyways. You win or you learn. You're going to win anyways. But to do it takes less time than all the thinking and stewing and overanalyzing.
It's true.
Again, not throwing any rocks, because it happens to me too. Been there, done that. Right. But just it's to do it. And I think one of the ways to help yourself do it, to talk yourself into it, is to list all the what I'm not getting, like what's not happening. Is it money, clients, time, energy, time with the loved ones, trips? What are list literally on a piece of paper, so it's visceral. List all the things that are not happening or you're not getting until you do this thing.
Then that sounds like a lot of time. You could have already done the thing.
Well, I'm that too, exactly. Or just do the thing.
I think that's the point, right? Instead of all this nonsense, like spending time thinking about it, writing down the reasons why, if you just would do the thing, you would be free of it.
Fair. And sometimes it's easier said than done. So sometimes writing down all the things you're missing out on or what it's costing you time, money, energy,
Yeah.
that makes the pain big enough to like, screw it, I'm just going to do it. And so that can be a valid exercise if you find you can't do it or can't get to it, or you're not getting to it and everything else is getting, it's on the back burner, everything else is prior. Just, write some notes. Okay, what is this costing me time? I'm not going on vacation, not making the money, I can't go out on a date with my wife, and this make a like a what is it costing you list. How much
Yeah.
does this suck list? And that often, because humans make decisions and act emotionally more than we do logically, that often will make you uncomfortable enough to, holy crap, this is costing me a lot, the trip or the promotion or the hot date or the whatever. Oh my gosh, okay, this needs to get done right now, and I find that helps.
Yeah. I love the idea of living life by design, but let's just talk about the downside of this, and maybe we can kind of blow this up a little bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
living life by design is like I'm all about it. I'm like so loving the idea of people following their purpose. I'm following my purpose, doing what
Right
I'm
on.
doing, very, very purposeful. And but the problem is it takes so long to start up. So in the startup phase of your business, there is this lull that happens. And so it's like you're living your life by design. You have all this energy, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not getting the results. Oh my God, I think that this could be a little bit better. Or, oh my God, this could be a lot better. And there is like a cycle of business owners. I think there's like I'm going to go find it. I'm going to go find the cycle. But, there's this time period where it finally all clicks in if you
Mm,
keep being persistent at it.
true.
So what
10
do you
year
think
overnight
about that?
success kind of thing.
What?
10-year overnight success kind of thing.
Yeah, it never happens, right? Well, 10 years it takes as an overnight success,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Well, I
Exactly.
know I don't think people see that part of it, right?
No,
They
you're
don't
right. They
see
don't.
the tears, they don't see like I'm giving up every day. And it's this corporate, you're leaving this corporate cushiness
Agreed.
to go out into this living your life by design.
Fair. And now, again, you can also live a life by design in a corporate environment as well, and having conversations with your boss as well, or VP, whatever, saying, "Hey, I think I can be more productive here. Are you willing to let me test something? Whether it's working, I don't know, a couple hours in the morning from home, and then so they're still working, but then driving in to work at, let's say, 11 when there's almost no traffic, versus me fighting traffic for an hour and a half of useless productivity. Sure, podcasts, yes, fine, but I negotiated with one of my bosses years ago, back at Novella. I said, "Tell you what, I will start at work. I'll start working remotely. I'll be online. You'll be reachable, but I won't come into the office till 11 a.m. because instead of an hour and a half drive, I have a 36-minute drive." He's like, "Sure." I had more energy when I got to work. I was more productive. I got stuff done in the morning, and the drive-in was a bit of a break versus you don't really need a break in the morning. You haven't worked yet. The
Yeah.
drive-in was a bit of a break. It was perfect. So again, I think we can still live a life by design, being in a corporation. And if you're, why would your boss refuse? And I'll keep my comments to myself if the boss
No,
refuses, but
and
why
I
would the
think
boss refuse if you can have better productivity?
exactly. And the thing is in order to have that productivity and designing your life, you have to ask for it.
Yes, correct.
Like there is a whole asking part of this that you need to do. And so I love the ability to do that, designing your life the way you want to do it, whether you're working in a corporation or if you're working for yourself,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of like creating your life around the work that you do. And
yeah.
I'm all about doing things that you love to do. My dad used to say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Like I thought
It's
it was
true.
him that like coined that phrase, but that is the way he kind of taught us, you need to be able to love what you do so that it doesn't feel like work and it feels
That's
like
true.
play.
Exactly. Especially on the really hard or really crappy days that it's still, you're like, okay, I still love this. It's a crappy day, but I still love this. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of those days. We
There
have a
can
lot
be.
of those days. I mean, because it depends how you feel in the morning. Like sometimes you
True.
wake up, you have a headache, you're tired, but you still have to go to work and get the thing done. But I
True.
think if it's connected deep inside to your purpose and passion, it's definitely going to be worthwhile.
You said it, Julie. And I think it's also a decision. You wake up, you bump your head, or you spill coffee all over yourself, or you, I don't know, drop your cereal all over the floor, and you're like, oh, today is going to be a crappy day. No, I think it's a decision to say, this stops here. Screw this. Today is going to be an amazing day. I think it's as easy as a decision, and because it can be easy, be like, oh, today's gonna be a crappy day, and then it is. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Versus, okay, yep, cereal all over the floor. I'll clean it up later. I'll put the robot vacuum up or whatever you do. But also choose. Are you getting a fender bender or whatever? Still choosing. You know what? This is gonna be an amazing day, because some people, I know this is a bit esoteric. Some people don't have another day, or like that the speaker Nick Juricic, no arms, no legs. It's like, really, what do we really? It's just going to be a good day no matter what happens to me. It's just going to be
Yeah,
a
I
good
mean,
day.
it's all about that perspective, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
sure is.
And you know what? If you live that way, you're going to need to evaluate what you're doing,
True.
because
Yeah.
we don't want to be doing stuff that we're miserable doing all the time. So that's
And that's
definitely a
another
wake up
trap.
call. That's something, that's a barometer that we need to be looking at. Like if you're waking up every morning and you're miserable,
Yeah. Yeah.
then there's a conversation you're going to need to have with yourself.
It is. I was there. At the end of the years of my corporate career, I was anxious. I was depressed, miserable. I was making lots of money, but just I'm making lots of money, but spending more money on vices to kind of sort of numb the pain, fill the void. You're right. It's a sign. It's a barometer. It's a check engine light on your
It
dashboard of your
is.
car. Check your life. It's like, and I think so many people, again, through the programming, the subconscious programming mindset we talked about, it's like, this is the way, or get a stable job, or get a good job, or be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, to make family proud, et cetera, et cetera. We got to be really careful with those beliefs and those limiting beliefs in our heads. But I have to, or I should, or I shouldn't, or
Yeah.
this is the right way. I know two dudes that make millions of dollars a year because they started gift basket business, and it evolved into an event planning company and all kinds of cool stuff. Millions of dollars, and they started with gift baskets. So who is to say, other than you and we? Oh my gosh, do we ever let our culture, parents, society influence us about what's good and what's prestigious? And, oh, I drive this car, or I have this job, and
Yeah.
who cares if you're miserable or suicidal or depressed or unfulfilled? Who cares? Really,
Well,
who cares?
and the thing is, just like what you said, the more miserable you are, the more unhealthy habits you pick up.
Exactly. The more
Because
expensive your vices get.
yeah, because you start to numb. I have a story that I tell all the time. So I was in the middle of my career and I was miserable at my
Sorry
job,
to hear
like
that.
really miserable. I was working at a pharmaceutical company. I won't say which one because I worked at three of them, but it was one of
Ah,
them. And I went to Disney World with my daughter and I got into those one of those discussions about the vacation club.
ah,
And they got me like right when I got my bonus check. And I told my daughter when we walked in, I'm like, we are not getting a vacation club. Like, don't, we're just going to get the free ice cream. Like I told her. And they talked me into a vacation club. I walked
ah.
out of there with a Disney vacation club. I spent
Wow.
my entire bonus check, my $11,000. And it's way now it's even more than that. I went in there with my $11,000 and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take my whole bonus and I'm gonna put it towards this thing.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
and I said in my mind, I said to myself, I made it okay, because this is what I said. I said, if I'm going to be this miserable in my life, then I'm going to have 1 week of fun because I can.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the conversation I have with myself.
Wow.
So if
Wow.
Disney is the only fun I can have once a year, then I'm going to be happy once a year.
Wow. 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 And once a year, I mean, the years are long. A year is a long, long time. That's for sure. I do my best to take a vacation every quarter because I mean, I need it. But it's so interesting. That's for sure.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when I was with my corporate job and I was kind of miserable, it was like, okay, weekend, I'm going shopping. I'm going to spend all my money. Like whatever
Hmm.
I had, I would go and
Uh,
spend because it was
don't
like,
do
okay,
that.
if I'm going to be miserable, then I deserve a treat. I
Yep.
deserve this treat and I
Or the
deserve this
people.
treat.
Exactly. Or I deserve this. Or the people, whether it's a vice or look at me, I'm special, I'm worthy, I'm good enough, with the fancy car, but they can barely afford their rent or their food, but they have a fancy car, to feel good enough or lovable or worthy because, oh, look at me, I have a whatever, Mercedes, BMW, whatever. Or to your point, they're spending it to feel better because, well, life sucks, work sucks, at least have this
Yeah,
fancy car, or whatever. It's really, really a shame. And I think people, it's a barometer. It's go do what you love. Life's too short. And people are
exactly.
so worried about failure. which is one of the greatest teachers you can have. People are so worried about failure that some people literally work themselves to death or stay in that career the rest of their lives, retire, and because their life is miserable and unhealthy, they die a few
I
months or a few years
know.
later
Oh
after they
my
retire.
God. It's so sad. It's when I see people like getting up there in their, towards retirement age and they're just like, oh, I'm just counting the days till I retire. Like
Kill me
you're going to
now.
count the days till you retire. That if you're counting the days, hello everyone, I hope you're listening. If you're counting the days
You're
till you
counting the days.
retire, Mayday, Mayday, we have a problem.
Mayday,
Because
mayday.
we have a problem, ladies and gentlemen, because that means that you're numbing yourself, you're miserable, and like no, there's no guarantee, James, about how long we have.
Exactly. Exactly. You may get hit by a bus tomorrow or whatever. Exactly. Exactly.
That was like a dramatic one. You're gonna get if you get hit by a bus tomorrow, or you just don't know what's gonna happen, and why not? See, that's the thing. It's that you don't want to spend your life and get to the end of it and then have the regrets.
Exactly. Oh, I
It's
saved. I have $3 million in the bank to retire with or whatever. Now I can live my life. Well, wait, my knees and my hips don't work, so I can't climb those mountains, or I'm too exhausted to whatever, or I should stay out of the sun or whatever. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what life brings. And I think, yes, be smart, plan for tomorrow, save, but also enjoy life. I've had an incredible life. I've had a hard life too, hard start to it. I've had like done some incredible, like I've seen like active volcanoes. I've like lassoed alligators. I've done some incredible. I dove with whale sharks. Done and seen some amazing things. And yes, plan and save and invest as well, but also invest in you because that is, I think, the bet. You want to be successful, invest in yourself, and don't blow all your money. On number five, the casino. Invest in yourself. However, you can do that. For me, it's adventure, relaxing, it's time off, vacations, however that is for you. I think you're right. We don't know how long we have or
yeah.
how long we have an active body or whatever. So if you want to do something, go do it this year. I went and did skydiving last year. I put it off for 44 years and I went skydiving last year. I'm like, that was amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. And I think like one of the things that I've done to invest in myself is given myself the opportunity to try what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because
Fair.
it's one of those things like if you have a purpose inside of yourself and it feels undone,
Mm,
that's how I felt. I felt like there's something undone in my life. And if I don't fix that or button it up, and it wasn't for me, it's not about like jumping out of an airplane or going to Europe. I've done all those things.
yeah.
Like for me, it's about doing what I'm doing right now because that's an investment in myself, in the purpose that I believe I was created for. So it's like we can invest in ourselves in different ways,
True.
betting on you to do the thing that you always wanted to do in your life. It could be that you need to go travel or
Yeah.
climb Kilimanjaro or start
Start a
that,
business or yeah.
nonprofit in Africa or start your own business. It's just that when it's all done, you can say, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter?
Exactly. Right on. It's like that sign you have behind your left shoulder there. It's trust the journey. And I think so many people are afraid of failure or what if it fails or what if I lose money. That's actually impossible. It's impossible to lose money because you're either going to learn or you're going to have a kick-ass time or grow. You're going to learn, grow, kick-ass time, or you're going to definitely a lot of learnings, that's for sure. But I've never wasted any money per se. It's been tons of amazing lessons, that's for sure. But I think people are just so afraid of failure or what would people think. Who cares when you get to your 40s, 50s, and 60s, especially 50s, 60s, you realize that people really don't care that much about you anyways.
No,
Talking to people that are older than me, they're
you're
not
not
paying
that
attention to you that
important.
much anyways. They don't care that much anyways.
No,
Do what
no.
you love. It's toxic to do anything else other than doing what you love, and careful about pleasing your parents or your friends or your circle. That can be incredibly toxic
Yeah.
because you're not happy.
Oh, I love what you just said. It's toxic to not do what you love.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
to not be the authentic version of you. Be and I after years of bullying, I was the most inauthentic person there was. People pleaser, yes man, spineless jellyfish, and people still didn't like me. They still made fun of me, and I wasn't even the real me. So I'm like, well, if people are gonna chirp me anyways and put me down, make fun of me, I might as well do the real me. I might as well do what I love and say what I say what I want to say, not being a jerk, but say might speak up my mind. And life is amazing. I'm authentic. I'm real, and and people resonate with me too.
Yeah,
They love the authentic James. Some people don't, and that's okay. They can go away. They can go away. That's
that's right.
okay. I
That's
aim to
right.
be the best person I can, and I'm not trying to be perfect or please everyone. And I found too, if anyone's listening to for the dating pool, people actually like when you have an opinion. They like when you have a backbone. Actually, I'll challenge you to that, or actually, no, I disagree. Or actually, here's what I think. Most people appreciate that, unless they're looking for someone that is like a yes man or yes woman, or someone to shut up and walk along with them, keep the company. People like when you have a backbone. You have an opinion. You challenge people. You grow. You say, "Hey, well, here's what I think," or "What about this?" or "Have you thought that way?" My lesson anyway. So people will always say things about you. You might as well have them say things about you that when you're doing things that light you up and that you love, living a life by design, giving yourself permission to be yourself, to be authentic, to play, to not work your life away, and to give yourself permission to stop feeling guilty when you are playing. And I should be working. And I went through all that too. Give yourself permission and realizing the best the best investment to your work, your job, your business is actually often to play, to relax, to rest, for self-care.
Yeah, loving that.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
James, how can my audience find out more about what you're doing?
Cool, cool, cool. So one of the best ways at LinkedIn is great. James R for Robert, Elliot with one T. I am the Scottish Elliot. And also limitless-entrepreneur.com as well is a great way to learn about me. In fact, if you want, there's a free gift I'll give everyone here, limitless-entrepreneur.com/growth. A great little 9 or 10 minute video on some basically 5 keys to take back your time, take back your life, be more productive, make more money, and be happier. So a little gift there as well. Limitless-entrepreneur.com/growth. Or just hit me up on LinkedIn. Love connecting with people. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me here, Julie.
Thanks for being on the Stay in Course podcast.
My pleasure. This is fun. Thank you.